It's Tuesday, August 11th, 2020. I'm Greg Nibbler, and this is Digital Trends Live. Yes, indeed. Hello, everyone. This is Digital Trends Live. Like I said, I'm Greg Nibbler. Thanks for joining us wherever you are. We appreciate it. We broadcast live here every single weekday, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, bringing you trending tech headlines, news, interviews, discussions, and more. So join in the conversation, whatever platform you're watching on. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get you started off with some news, though, right now. Speaking of platforms, TikTok has named the first recipients of its Creator Fund, which is an initiative to keep content creators on its platforms that faces intense pressure from various governments, organizations, corporations, and competition from rival companies who are also offering some incentives to get people to leave TikTok. So there's $1 billion in the Creator Fund, and so far they've announced 19 recipients, with people like David Dobrik, Matt Broussard, a cook named Matt, Dreadnought Workshop, Dr. Jess, and obviously some others. Now, they didn't announce how much each one was going to make, but they're getting a lot of competition in the form of Triller, which has seen huge downloads, and Facebook's Instagram, which just rolled out Reels, and that's just in time to compete with TikTok directly. So this is all happening as the ban order is looming, with a deadline of September 20th for U.S. businesses to stop working with TikTok per an executive order, and with the September 15th deadline, Microsoft is set to purchase TikTok from ByteDance, which is their parent owner. But now we also have word that Twitter has also been mentioned as a potential suitor. They would have to raise a lot of money, though. They really should have just kept Vine. But nonetheless, this Creator Fund just getting started. There's some rules to it. You have to have 10,000 followers, 10,000 views in the last month, but they are going to start rolling out some more. So these were handpicked to start off with, but definitely interesting to see where that's going to go. Read more about it at digitaltrends.com. Lucid Motors has announced that their upcoming Air all-electric sedan will have the world's longest range, beating the Tesla Model S long range by over 100 miles. So the Model S edition from Tesla has an electric range of 402 miles in optimal conditions. The Lucid Air will reportedly have a range of 517 miles on a single charge. That's a really impressive range as we see this race between electric vehicle manufacturers heat up. But the testing was done by FEV North America, which is an independent organization that applied the EPA's guidelines, which a lot of people follow, to come up with the 517-mile number. Now, Lucid Motors was supposed to have debuted the Air at the New York International Auto Show way back in April, but now it's going to be changing gears and going to a virtual debut sometime in September, much like other manufacturers. So other specs released are that it will have a 900-volt battery, and it'll be capable of going from 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. But this is definitely going to be in the luxury market when it comes to cars. So it's expected to start at $100,000, so it's going to be pretty exclusive, and customer deliveries are expected sometime in the first part of 2021. Now, of note, Elon Musk has said that the next Tesla Roadster will clock in at about 620 miles per charge, and expected to go into production next year. So however you like it, this is an exciting time for electric vehicles. So the more competition, the longer the range we're going to get, and hopefully, though, the prices start to get a little bit lower. That one's starting at $100,000, but you can read more about it at digitaltrends.com. Continuing on, Google has released a number of new Android features today, and one of the most interesting ones is this. It's the Android Earthquake Alerts system, which is part of their plan to create a global network of seismometers using the accelerometers that already exist in smartphones. So the accelerometer is the thing your phone uses to detect whether you've moved or not. So every phone pretty much has one. You've probably been asked to calibrate it before. So using those is something that Google wants to do to create this network for this earthquake alert system. So an accelerometer is really sensitive. It could become one data point per phone in thousands or millions that can detect the movement associated with an earthquake. They said it's so sensitive that if it's sitting still, plugged in, it could even detect P or S waves. So those are specific types of earthquake waves. P waves are less destructive, S waves are more destructive. Regardless, the phone's so sensitive it can detect them. And there are 3 phases to this rollout. First, they're partnering with the U.S. Geological Survey and the California Office of Emergencies to potentially send earthquake alerts to Android phones based on existing data that seismometers are already collecting. The problem is there's not a lot of seismometers out there to be able to do this. So that's where we go to the second. The second part is they're going to monitor searches in the area of earthquakes to see if the data matches up with what they're gathering from these seismometers. Of note, you do have to opt in to do this, so they're not going to just take your data, but it is anonymized. You do have to opt in. So finally, what they would do is be able to send earthquake warnings out to users who are in areas where seismometers aren't constantly on the watch for earthquakes. So in theory, this could give someone a warning of anywhere from, say, 1 to 2 seconds, which doesn't seem like much, but it's enough to duck under something, to even 30 to 45 seconds. And naturally, the data will change as they go through it. But it's a really interesting use case of using smartphones and some untapped potentials. You can read more about that at digitaltrends.com. And another update coming from Google has to do with their app Lookout, which has been a huge help for people that are blind or vision impaired. And it's now adding more modes and being expanded to more Android devices. So the app, in its current form, uses artificial intelligence and your camera to scan an environment and tell someone what is happening around them. So Google even recommends putting a phone, like say on a lanyard or hanging it around your neck. So the app is open, the camera is on, and then it can let the user know about other people in the room, objects that are ahead or that they may encounter, or don't bump into this table. Things that could be very important if you can't see what's around you. So the updates that just put out now provides 2 more modes that can help out as well. The first is the food label mode, and what it'll do is be able to look at a food label and tell someone exactly what it is they're holding. Imagine putting away the groceries and knowing what it is you've got in front of you. Pretty helpful. The other mode is the scan document mode. So that's essentially rapidly scanning documents and letters. And you could take a quick picture and the app will automatically be able to read it out loud and help somebody sort through something that they can't see. So Lookout had previously only been available on Pixel phones, but it's now expanding to any Android device running Android 6.0 or newer. And that has at least 2 gigs of RAM available. So those are the specifications, but it's a pretty cool update. I'm a fan of any tech that helps improve lives or gives someone back time they would otherwise spend on tasks they may not want to do, like reading food labels. It's really a cool update, so check it all out at digitaltrends.com. And speaking of updates, TCL is now coming out with their new line of televisions. We've been hoping this day would come. We thought it was going to come soon, but now it is here. And we have our own Caleb Dennison here to walk us through what it is that we are getting from TCL. Caleb, as always, good to see you, sir. So what do we have here that's new?
That is a great question, Greg, and one that I have been looking forward to answer for quite some time. So TCL, as you know, big in the TV game now. A couple years ago, they unleashed this 6 Series TV that surprised everybody with how great it was. Relatively unknown brand. They've really made a name for themselves. So this was a hotly anticipated release, and now we have it. So we have learned that the new TCL 6 Series kind of takes a step up. Kind of looks like their premium 8 series from last year. It is going to have mini LED tech. That is a ton, like tens of thousands of mini LEDs behind the panel illuminating the television, which means you're going to get amazing contrast, really great brightness. The HDR should be absolutely off the hook. And the color, of course, is going to be very excellent because it employs some quantum dot technology in there as well. So basically, TCL's really popular TV from last year is going to be many times better this year, but it's not really going up in price. And here's the kicker. These things are super gamer friendly. So the 6 Series in particular has a THX certified game mode, which means that it's going to automatically pop into game mode when you turn on a console. It'll have very low input lag, very high refresh rate. It also has a variable refresh rate, so right up to 120 hertz. Whatever the game is spitting out, it will reproduce it frame by frame exactly as it's supposed to be. So we're talking about like a high-end gaming monitor style of gaming experience in an actual television, so that you can get that up to, well, up to 75 inches if you want to. That's really big news. Now, the pricing for the 6 Series is going to be $650 for a 55, $900 for a 65, and $1,400 for a 75 inch version. So not really much more expensive than the 6 Series was last year, but vastly improved. And this is really exciting news.
And this is something, TCL just over the last few years. I mean, I still feel like they're the new ones on the block, even though they're not really that new anymore. But it's crazy how they can come out with these and still have the prices down like that. So you got the 6 Series that came out, and then there's also the 5 Series.
The 5 Series this year, which was, sort of their, I don't want to say low-end model, but sort of low-mid model, very affordable. The performance of that particular series was not like gangbusters. The 6 Series, everybody's like, oh my gosh, how can you get this kind of picture quality for this kind of money? The 5 Series less so. But the good news is this year, the 5 Series looks like last year's 6 Series. So it's going to have quantum dot technology, more local dimming zones. So again, really great control of the contrast and the brightness and the HDR experience. Everything that you want. It's got a new design. It looks super sleek. Both of these TVs, you can hide the cabling in the feet, which a lot of people are really excited about, apparently. So cable management, definitely a thing with this TV. And here's the kicker. The 55-inch or the 50-inch version is going to go for $400. The 55-inch is just $450. 65, $630, and the 75-inch version, I've never seen this before, is just $1,100, which means it will be under $1,000 probably by the time the holidays come around. And that's just
wow.
Nice.
Yeah, for a 75-inch television with all of that on that. So you've got all that. Okay, so you got the 6 Series, you got the 5 Series. What about, as we've been seeing with more and more television manufacturers, what about 8K?
Well, that's the teaser. It's going. TCL is going to unleash its 8 Series, which we did see last year, and we were absolutely, blown away by it. That's where we first saw that mini LED tech that the 6 Series got this year. The 8 Series is expected to come out right alongside the new next-gen consoles later this year. It is an 8K television this year with all the gaming features that we just talked about, which is going to be insane. And also, it's going to have this new, TCL was calling it Vidrian technology. I think they may stick with that. But if you hail back to CES earlier this year, they had this special process where they basically embedded the pixels inside a sheet of glass, and they eliminated a bunch of layers that you commonly see with an LED television. So it's very thin. It's extremely bright, and it's got amazing contrast. It's probably the closest to OLED that we've ever seen before in a non-OLED TV. And because it's not an OLED and it's from TCL, it should be significantly less expensive than the OLED competition. That is the TV that I'm absolutely I can't wait to get my hands on it later this year. But we are going to have to be patient. We're going to have to wait until a little bit later this year. They did not say it very specifically, but I think we're looking at about November.
Okay, so November for those ones, but still these new ones that are coming out right now, we've got all the details too at digitaltrends.com. Everybody can go there and take a look. Caleb, as always, great talking to you to find out what is going on with televisions. Now, I'm excited for all of these, and plus that price is pretty good, so now I kind of want to get one. But check it all out right there. Caleb, as always, great to talk to you.
You as well, Greg. Take care.
And that is Caleb Dennison again talking about those televisions. Don't forget, later on today, it is Tuesday, so 2:30 p.m. Pacific, you get to see Caleb again because we'll have our Roundtable Tech podcast, Trends with Benefits, where we'll be talking about Facebook. Should it be broken up? That's one topic. That's coming up later. Just wanted to remind you of that, so hit subscribe wherever you get podcasts or right on whatever platform you're watching. Coming up next, we've got something I didn't expect to be bringing up today. Johnny Cash. Yes, it's not him as a guest, obviously, but Johnny Cash's Rolls-Royce was turned into an electric vehicle, and we got an exclusive look at how they did it. We've got that coming up next. Stick around. Back in a minute with more Digital Trends Live.
The car is a 1970 Rolls-Royce long wheelbase Silver Shadow. The job is to respect the car inside and out and convert it to all Tesla systems. A lot of people might think, well, you just take the Rolls-Royce and put it on a Tesla chassis, right? And it's not that easy. The donor car in this case is a brand new Tesla Model S.
To my knowledge, this is the most integrated Tesla resto mod that I've seen. So when we started this project, no one had ever done such a deep Tesla swap. And I think at this point, I'm not sure anyone has done it yet. So going into it, we really didn't know if we could do how many of these systems we could make work. The customer wanted to retain the original look and feel of the car. And so it's what we would call a sleeper resto mod.
This car was originally purchased by ABC Studios and given to Johnny Cash as a gift for getting high ratings on his show. They had put his initials in gold leaf on the back doors, so it's unique, it's special, and those are still there today, even though some of the other gold trim has worn off.
Some of the most interesting challenges were to make it so that you would get into this car, and unlike a Tesla, you would put in the key and you would start the car, and you would use the original shifter to put it into drive, and all the gauges are the original Rolls gauges. So the battery state of charge is on the fuel gauge, and the speedometer is running off of a motor that's driven from the digital signals from the Tesla. That was important, but then there were safety issues to deal with, such as the warning lights, which of course an old car doesn't have the same ones. So we made a little discrete OLED display that shows various faults or systems, whether you're charging, whether it's waiting for the key. And we put that in the wooden dashboard right where there used to be a large orange warning light.
This is an extremely laborious process when you have to design and hand make almost all of the fixtures and brackets and things that you need to mount. We have everything from 3D printed parts to welded up parts to other custom parts that all bring it all together.
Mounting the motor where the differential went, integrating the steering rack into where it doesn't fit. This car's 10 inches narrower than the Tesla is, so the rack didn't want to fit. Half shafts had to be shortened. We had double the horsepower to deal with and not rip out the bodywork of the rear end. Had to get the stability control to work. The Tesla has 20-inch wheels and has these huge brake calipers. We had to keep the stock look and use the stock hubcaps, and in doing so, we were limited on wheel size. So we had to go back through and analyze the braking system and figure out, okay, what can I fit and what calipers, and keep the balance front to rear similar, so we had a chance with the stability control to work in the future.
So in order to keep the Tesla systems happy and working as a system, we wanted to keep the instrument cluster and the large center screen that comes on a Tesla. But we didn't want to put these in the car where they would disturb the look. So we made custom mounts and redid the whole trunk to hide them in the trunk.
We have the car in 3D CAD. So we measured a lot of stuff digitally with precision equipment.
And it really wasn't until the end that some of the key systems like the stability control were tested. And so it's been a very exciting project. It's been interesting. You know, it's that old saying, if you knew what you were doing, you'd be bored.
The post-conversion drive surprised me because I didn't expect it to get better. And what I really noticed is there's no shifting. I mean, first off, there's no noise, there's no engine vibration. Rolls-Royce does a really good job of isolating that anyway, but now it's perfectly silent, and you can hear a pebble being picked up by the tire. The Rolls-Royce normally isn't a high acceleration machine, it's designed to be smooth, but with the Tesla drive unit, it's smoother because we don't have the shifting now, and it's roughly double the horsepower.
I was very pleasantly surprised how it turned out. We had backup plans in case we couldn't get all the systems to cooperate well. But the result is smooth and fast, and it's just a joy to drive, and everything works.
From an overall systems and stuff like that, I've never touched anything that's this complex, and all the interactions into it. Without the team, I wouldn't have been able to pull that off on my own. No way.
So the future of this car is that we're aware of is it's going to its owner. I understand that they don't intend to show it, so it may not be a big public reveal or anything like that. They just want to enjoy it and drive it, and they're a fan of Johnny Cash. He loved this car, he drove this car a lot, and I think he'd really like our approach to this project if you're here today. Yeah, it was run down, needed engine work, needed brake work, and now it's still the classic car that he drove, but it's more reliable, takes off faster, stops faster, and we build it one piece at a time.
Welcome back to Digital Trends Live. I'm Greg Nibbler, and again, thank you for joining us wherever you are. We appreciate it. We broadcast live here every single weekday, and right now it's time for Who's Got Game, where we partner with Fullscreen to bring on entertainers, creators, and all-around cool people, and that is what we have right now. You may know him as Barbarian Body. It is Tanner Weidman. Tanner, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks a lot for having me, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you about all kinds of things that are going on right now. There's so many ways we can go about this, but something we always like to do is just talk about how somebody got into what they're into. Like for you, how did you start putting videos on YouTube? How did you get into being a health fitness expert on this channel?
So it started just a traditional passion. Really found a lot of success with building up my own physique, and a lot of people are always consistently asking me about how they'd be able to build muscle mass and lose fat. And that's kind of how I came across the idea that maybe I can turn this into a career that's a little bit more, it's more interesting than being an in-home personal trainer. And I can actually create content online that's going to be able to reach thousands and actually millions of people now to this day.
And that's such a huge thing, especially right now, because to get into our other point here, with the pandemic and everything that's happened with this, it's changed up certainly all aspects of our lives, but definitely working out. Gyms closed. You couldn't go in and do that. And so how have you seen it change just from maybe your viewer base? How have they changed during this pandemic? How has working out changed?
So yeah, people weren't able to go to the gym for a really long time. I mean, it's kind of slowly starting to open up now, but instantly, as soon as people couldn't go to the gyms, that's when the home workouts started to really blow up. And that was actually something that I was really big into beforehand. I was creating a lot of different home workouts. So I had a big archive of all these different types of workouts and stuff. And when people realized, hey, I still want to stay fit, I'm kind of going a little bit insane, a little bit stir crazy, that's when they started looking up for even more of the home workouts. So as of recently, it's just been extremely, extremely huge. People are just enjoying doing all the home workouts. They're just looking them up all the time, following them, and they're able to stay consistent and on track at home with these home workouts, because we've got workouts that are for guys or girls even that have no equipment, or even just people that have, maybe a simple set of dumbbells, as you're able to see right here. So they're able to take advantage of it, and it's just been enormous. And I can see that, the industry is going to be kind of going in this direction for the next little while, when people realize, hey, maybe I don't have to go to the gym and, wait 20, 30 minutes to get in a good full workout because somebody's on this machine or whatever. And I can get a lot of stuff done at home in a timely manner.
Now, you mentioned one of the things, like for a lot of people, maybe they don't have the equipment at home because they're used to going to a gym and they haven't got it ordered yet. What's one of the most unique ways you can turn like an ordinary household item into workout equipment?
So one of the easiest ways would be to get yourself just some water bottles. I mean, if you want to start simply, go ahead, get yourself one of those 1.5 liter water bottles, and that can provide you with a few pounds of resistance. Now, if you're looking for a little bit more resistance, that's when you can get into kind of those milk jugs, those 2 liters and the 4 gallons, kind of losing my track there. But you can use those and it provides you with a decent amount of resistance. Other things too, just simply ordering like pairs of resistance bands. They're just such versatile pieces of equipment that people can use at home. And then obviously, your own body weight is an extremely effective tool for getting done a lot of different workouts. And a lot of people just have a tough time because they're not sure what exercises they should do or how to perform them. And that's why a great platform such as YouTube and, the videos that I put out are, really helpful for them so that they're able to get in those workouts with just their body weight, if that's, the only thing that they have available to them.
Another thing I think that's been an issue for a lot of people, it's an issue normally, but especially during this, is motivation. I mean, there is such a thing that I've heard called the COVID-19, where people are having a hard time getting motivated and getting themselves ready to go work out. How do you maintain motivation right now?
So the main thing with motivation is to give yourself a schedule, to give yourself a plan. Typically you want to do it from Monday to Friday. So you're going to say, on this exact day, I'm going to be working out for how many minutes, or, if you want to do an hour or an hour and a half. Have that plan written out. That's the first thing. The second thing, you want to get a bit more specific. So what is the exact time that I'm going to go and do this workout? If it's going to be in the morning, then it's going to require some preparation. So the night before, get out your workout equipment, get your workout clothing out, your shoes, your shorts, lay them by the bed, have your water bottle ready, have your favorite workout, home workout, such as this one right here, have it already ready in a playlist so that when you wake up, you're ready to get started. You don't have that much time. It's just so simple and so easy to fall into. And this is what's going to be easy for you to start to build in habits so that eventually it just kind of happens for you and you start to see tremendous results in your physique.
Now, looking at this here, you've got, clearly your workouts that are on YouTube. Have you tried out other social media platforms to test out maybe even smaller, shorter workouts?
Yeah, well, what's really good right now, it's kind of tough because TikTok is getting banned, but that was the new one that was really blowing up. And you're able to get in a lot of information and kind of show people these really effective home workouts in a very, very short period of time. These short little clips that last, sometimes they're as short as 18 seconds, and you're able to get some great ideas about workouts from there. And then obviously with Instagram too, you can just have those simple slide through the video clips, see all of the exercises, and you can just get the full picture of the workouts pretty instantaneously. You don't have to actually watch through, a whole video that's 10, 15, 20 minutes long to try and learn the full workout.
Well, what's next on the horizon for you? Now you've got this clearly very successful channel. You're able to reach all of these people. I know a lot of people have kind of changed directions or tried new things during the pandemic. What's next on the horizon for you?
So right now we're just really focusing on pushing our Barbarian Body All Access workout applications that we have on the Apple iOS store and the Google Play store, and just really developing those apps to have the best possible workout content, whether it's for people working out at home, whether it's for people that are working out at the gym, and developing that. Outside of that, our social media push is still going to be on YouTube because we're just seeing so much success there and having so many people reach out saying that they're able to make incredible transformations while just being at home. We're also going to be really focusing right now on, even with the TikToks, because things could change if it's allowed to stay in the United States, and just getting creative with the way that we're able to put the content out there. Mainly, we're going to try and focus on continuing to scale and push out as much fitness content as possible, whether it be workouts, follow along workouts, exercise tips, diets, all of that. We're trying to get to the next level and scale out more content.
Well, Tanner, thank you very much for joining us, to talk about this. And I guess the one final question I have is for somebody, say there's somebody out there who hasn't been working out there, just kind of getting motivated to do it right now. What's the number one tip you would have for someone who's just getting started?
Make it as simple as possible. Don't try and start out with, this crazy type of diets where you're going to be restricting a whole macronutrient or trying to take on an incredible workout routine. Start as simply as possible. Try to remove as many of the distractions, the high calorie foods like the chips and the pops and the alcohols from your house, so that you're not going to be tempted to go ahead and eat those foods. Once you've achieved that level, start to add in simple things like just going for a walk once a day for 20 minutes. Then once you get to that level, then you can move into doing some of those follow along home workouts that we've got on YouTube. Start to see results from there, get accustomed to it, and then you can start to progress every single week after that by adding in just a little bit more, so you don't overwhelm yourself and you're able to stay consistent.
Nice. Tanner, thank you so much for being here. Again, Barbarian Body, everybody go there and check it out, what you've been doing with this. Congratulations on the success, too. It's obviously resonating with so many people, what you've been able to do and accomplish with that. And thanks for being here on Digital Trends Live with us.
I appreciate you for having me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Tanner Webman right there, Barbarian Body on YouTube. Definitely interesting. Some good advice there, I think, for everybody who's looking to maybe take it up or get started on whatever it is that you're doing. Well, thank you also to everybody for watching Digital Trends Live. We appreciate it a lot, so I want you to hit that subscribe button, whatever platform you're on, that we get notifications when we go live. You can join in the conversations, get to hear all these cool people that we get to talk to, which is a lot. Coming up tomorrow, as usual, we'll have some amazing guests that'll be joining us, but we'll also have all the latest technology news. All the news you need to get through the day, we will have for you to start off right here at the beginning of the show. But all day long, you can go to digitaltrends.com. Take a look at everything that we've got there. We will keep you, like I said, up to date on everything. Whatever's going on, we will have the reviews. We'll have the news of it. We'll have analysis. It's all right there. Coming up at 2:30 p.m. Pacific today, we've got Trends with Benefits, which is our Roundtable Tech podcast. And, of course, you can hit subscribe to the audio version wherever you go, but we'll have a live video version as well. And we're going to be talking about Facebook. Everything that's going on with it doesn't seem to be affected by anything, and even despite antitrust hearings. So we're going to discuss kind of where that's at, what the state is, all of that and more. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. I'm Greg Nibbler, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow with another edition of Digital Trends Live.